Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You guys are feeling... How are you guys feeling tonight? You feeling all right? I'm so glad to hear that. Did you get some rest this weekend? Because this weekend really felt like a recovery weekend, because our great nation, it's still being emotionally keel-hauled by the Senate confirmation of Supreme Court nominee and toddler being dragged out of the gymboree, Brett Kavanaugh. Thursday's testimony was dark. But despite Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's moving testimony, it looked like Kavanaugh was going to sail through. Enter retiring Republican senator and man with resting what have I become face, Jeff Flake. Flake's the one who originally said, no, we got to have Blasey Ford testify before we vote. But then, after her testimony the next day, he released a statement that morning saying he intended to vote yes on Kavanaugh. End of story. Oops, not yet. Because on his way to vote yes, two survivors of sexual assault confronted Flake in an elevator, okay? I don't understand. I don't understand how that happened. Didn't he read the congressional safety signs? In case of protest, take the stairs. After that, in the middle of the committee vote, Flake got up and left to huddle with Delaware Democrat Chris Coons, and together they wanted to call for an FBI investigation, but they wanted to make sure it could be completed in a week's time. So to call the FBI, Coons and Flake squeezed into an oversized phone booth. Jeff Flake may have gone into that phone booth as Clark Kent, but he came out as Clark Kent, who was retiring from the Senate, so it's okay if he stands up to Donald Trump. And they couldn't get FBI Director Christopher Wray, Superman fans, and they couldn't get FBI Director Christopher Wray on the phone, so instead they called Rod Rosenstein, proving once again the motto on Rosenstein's desk, Rod Rosenstein, everyone's second choice. Yes. How'd that call go? Hey, Rod, I know you're busy running the Russia investigation and getting fired for running the Russia investigation, but do you have time to run a new investigation to get fired for? But here's the thing. The Trump administration approved an investigation so narrowly focused that the FBI was authorized to interview just 4 people. That's hardly an investigation. 4 people is hardly a book club. But this afternoon, the White House reversed course and told the FBI to interview anyone necessary for the Kavanaugh inquiry. As long as the review is finished by the end of the week. That's right. I want the full focus and scope of the entire FBI to get to the bottom of these troubling allegations, no matter what, as long as you can wrap them up by this Friday, because Brett and I are going to go see Venom. Love that, Tom Hardy. So now the FBI can talk to some of Brett's buddies at Yale who remember Kavanaugh's drinking a little differently than he does. Because, first of all, drinking, who cares? A lot of people drink. I've been drinking more in the 2 years of the Trump administration than ever in my life. But Kavanaugh specifically told the Senate under oath that he was not a blackout drinker, but his honesty on that is being questioned. Kavanaugh's former Yale classmate, Chad Lunnington, says on many occasions he heard Brett slur his words and saw him staggering from alcohol consumption. Oh, when you've lost Chad, it can't be long until you lose Brad and Tad and Troy and Tanner and Tripp and Bryson and Tucker. Chad went on. You'll never lose Tucker. You never lose Tucker. Chad went on to say that on one of the last occasions I purposely socialized with Brett, I witnessed him respond to a semi-hostile remark by throwing his beer in the man's face. He threw it in his face? Wait, that doesn't sound like a man who said,
I like beer.
Got to check that out, too. Chad summed up his feelings this way: I can unequivocally say that in denying the possibility that he ever blacked out from drinking and in downplaying the degree and frequency of his drinking, Brett has not told the truth. Dick move, Chad. No, Chad broke the bro code. Brad, you better hope that Pierce, Jason, Devlin don't find out about this. And Kavanaugh also fudged some other facts. Listen to this answer when he was asked about a reference to a Beach Week Ralph Club in his yearbook.
So the vomiting that you reference in the Ralph Club reference related to the consumption of alcohol?
Senator, I was the top of my class academically, busted my butt in school, captain of the varsity basketball team, got into Yale College. When I got into Yale College, got into Yale Law School, worked my tail off.
I busted my butt. Then I poured beer into my butt. It's called boofing. What was the question? Kavanaugh also avoided embracing the truth about the slang he used in his yearbook. For instance, the devil's triangle, which, if you ask the internet, is a slang for a three-way. But here's what Kavanaugh said.
Devil's triangle?
Drinking game.
How's it played?
3 glasses in a triangle.
Yes. Trombone is when you leave a brass instrument out in the rain. The marching band was so mad at me, they made me give them a trombone, which is all I had because I left it out in the rain. But what? I'm really curious what part of that CBS is gonna bleep. But his fib retroactively became true because after Kavanaugh's testimony, someone on Capitol Hill operating from a congressional IP address decided to update Wikipedia to include an entry for Devil's Triangle to say a popular drinking game enjoyed by friends of Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Wow. Yeah.
He updated on the thing.
That's there. There it is. There it is. Oh, a lot of Wikipedia pages were changed to help Kavanaugh. For instance, when you look up boofing, it now says the act of helping a kindly grandmother across the street with her groceries, as in, yo, dude, I boofed so hard last night I almost died. And at a press conference that was supposed to be on trade with Canada, the subject quickly turned to Judge Kavanaugh.
Should Brett Kavanaugh be interviewed by the FBI?
I think so. I think it's fine if they do. I don't know. That's up to them.
No. Everything is up to you. That's the job. I don't know. I just work here. I know nothing. Every day, my mind is wiped clean. In the morning, someone wakes me up and tells me I'm the president, and I'm just as shocked as you are. I don't know. Who, me? I don't.
You don't know nothing.
I don't.
Like a child. Like a child.
He thinks this will all work out for his nominee.
I want it to be comprehensive. I actually think it's a good thing for Judge Kavanaugh.
Yes, it is a good thing for Judge Kavanaugh. Maybe he'll find out what he was doing when he was blackout drunk. Oh, so that's why they called it the Ralph Club. Okay. And Trump was clear in his support.
I'm with him all the way. I mean, a charge made or said to have occurred 36 years ago, and nothing happened since. And look, I feel badly for all parties.
Especially the Republican Party, because this midterms, they're going to get boofed. Then, 3 boofs. New record. That's 3 boofs in one night.
That's a record for a monologue. Wow.
Then, boof. Yeah.
They got
That, I believe that's why it's called the voting booth. Yeah. That's a Kimmel joke. That feels like a Kimmel. Then Trump said that Kavanaugh's not the only one in Washington who has misbehaved.
I happen to know some United States senators. One who is on the other side, who's pretty aggressive. I've seen that person in very bad situations. Okay? I've seen that person in very, very bad situations.
How bad a situation? Well, let's put it this way. I was there. That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
Cleanup crew. Trump just assumes everybody has skeletons in their closet.
There are bad reports on everybody in here. Most of the people sitting down there are bad, except for Mike Pence, by the way. And if we find one on him, then I think that'll be the greatest shock of all time.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy who can't be alone with women and calls his wife mother has a healthy attitude towards sex. Then, don't leave me alone with them. Don't leave me alone with them. Then reporters asked about Kavanaugh's drinking.
So if he did lie about his drinking, does that mean you'll pull his...
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Look, here's what. I'm just saying, I'm not a drinker. I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life, okay?
Right.
It's one of my only good traits. I don't drink. Whenever they're looking for something good, I say, I never had a glass of alcohol. Can you imagine if I had? What a mess I'd be? I'd be the world's worst.
No. No, I can't. I can't imagine you being any worse. We got a great show for you tonight. Jake Tapper is here. Join us.